Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 110 random facts I had to double check to believe. I've not done a fact-based video solely on like sort of random facts. I've done it on like 10 facts about certain subjects and things, but never on just a random sort of scale. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot of new things in this video, and yeah, hopefully going to enjoy. If you want more of these types of videos, let me know in the comments. Links are in the description for my Instagram, my Twitter for those who want to follow me. Same for my Patreon if you want extra reactions that get blocked on YouTube, etc. So yeah, links are all there. But let's just jump into
Of all places. Of all places.
What? What weird
The Statue of Liberty is made of copper, so it was originally the same color as a penny. It's turned completely green because of oxidation in 1920. Well, it's not easy being green.
That's kind of nuts. I didn't know
One
that.
glass of water has more atoms in it than there are glasses of water in all the oceans of the Earth. Check atoms in it. It's not easy being green.
Wait, what?
One glass of water has more atoms in it than there are glasses of water in all the oceans of the Earth. Check it out yourself.
Wait, what?
Some mountain chains,
My
for
head is so
example, the
fried.
Sierra
What?
Nevadas in California, have pink snow that tastes and smells like watermelons.
No, it does not.
Stay away from the yellow snow.
If that's true, I need to go there right now. That sounds banging, man.
An ear of corn always contains an even number of rows, normally 16 of them, and kernels, 800 on average.
800? Oh, jeez.
You can really smell
Sweet
rain.
corn is banging,
It
man.
smells like a mix of plant oils, bacteria, and ozone.
Oh yeah, I know. When it rains, you can just smell it. I don't like the smell, but I know my mum. I used to always say like, because the smell used to it used to make me sort of, especially when it was warm outside, it would give me like a sort of, it made me have sort of allergies, I guess you could say. I'm quite allergic, or not allergic, but I'm sensitive to like certain things like pollen and certain things. So when it rains in the summer, it would smell so earthy, and I wouldn't like it, and it would just make me feel shit. But my mum loved it.
Salvador Dali himself designed the Chupa Chups logo in 1969. He also insisted that it should be placed on top of the wrapper so that everyone could see it.
They're the most iconic lollies, aren't they?
The southern hemisphere version of
be fair.
Aurora Borealis is Aurora Australis. The best time to see the southern lights is also in the winter.
How have I never heard about these before?
Victorians used to say prunes instead of
that's
cheese before taking a picture to look more serious.
Prunes.
Smiling was reserved for the uneducated.
Society
The
changing is
Sargasso
so
Sea
wild,
has
man.
no shores.
Like how
It's located smack.
how it used to be, what, 200-300 years ago, it used to like be sort of, if you were fat, it was like seen as a good thing. You're rich, you got money to buy a lot of food. Certain things like smiling, just certain ways of society and how it's changed, and now it's how it's sort of flipped and it's the other way around. It's so weird how things just change through time. In 50 years time, certain things we do now are going to be like seen as crazy or whatever it is. It's so crazy how just things just change
The
constantly.
Sargasso Sea has no shores. It's located smack dab in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, and its borders
Near the
are
Bermuda
all
Triangle, right?
natural. They are 4 ocean currents.
What the fuck?
When you sneeze, the air blows out of your nose at 100 miles per hour.
Bryce, there's a lot as well. Probably
To
gonna
find
cause
out if
some brain
cranberries
damage to
are
me.
ripe or not, growers drop them and see if they can bounce over a wooden barrier. Only ripe berries can make it.
What?
90% of the world's population lives in the northern hemisphere. Ketchup
Goddamn.
used to be a medicine that was sold as pills across the U.S. in the 1800s.
Ketchup pills?
The world's
going on here?
longest musical piece lasts 639 years. Organ 2, ASLSP, as slow as possible, is being performed in Germany and should be finished by 2640. Don't miss it. Every episode of Friends has the word friends in it. Who would have thought? Jousting is the
I think I've probably watched clips of it. It ain't for me,
official
man.
sport of the state of
Controversial,
Maryland.
I know.
Video game designer Toru Atawani explained a pizza with one slice removed was the inspiration for Pac-Man.
That simple. Fair
Cookie
enough.
Monster from Sesame Street has a real name, and it's Sid.
What?
An adult
Kinda
is made
suits
up
him
of
as well.
7 octillion atoms. That's 7 with a boatload of zeros. There's just 3 billion stars in our galaxy for comparison.
God
A
damn.
blue whale's heart is as large as a small car, and you can hear it beat from 2 miles.
What? I've actually never seen a whale's heart. Okay, this might, if you're not into graphic things, don't like skip a few minutes ahead or like a few seconds ahead. I've never actually seen a whale heart. Whale heart. God damn it, man. Is that like a, I guess that's like a, that's not an actual heart, it's just sort of like what am I even trying to say? Like a copy, just to show what it's like in the size sort of comparison. That is nuts though. That they're actually that big. That's wild, man. Holy shit. Look at that size comparison. God damn it, man.
Miles away.
Makes sense, though.
Dolphins
Huge
call each other
animals.
by names, or rather, special vocal whistles.
Bro, dolphins are so
Cleopatra
smart, aren't
lived
they?
closer in time to the first moon landing, 2,000 years, than to the construction of the Great Pyramid, 2,500 years.
Cleopatra from, who's
Bubble
known for the
wrap
period.
was
Like,
originally-
that's sort of the ancient Egypt, isn't she? Wait, Cleopatra is known for being around, like, was ancient Egypt, but did it last that long? Was the ancient... I don't actually know the term, but it's literally top. Surely my computer's listening to me. I don't give a shit. Pops up quicker, right? For almost 30 centuries. Oh my days. Flipping hell.
Supposed to be a
Madness.
textured wallpaper. It was invented by sealing two shower curtains together.
Wait, what?
Bubble wrap was originally supposed to be a textured wall.
Oh shit.
Facebook
That's kinda
like
wild.
button was supposed to be the awesome button first. You will spend around 6 months of your life waiting for red lights to turn green. Enjoy!
I'll tell you what, I wonder what the first sort of social media company it was to sort of incorporate likes, because that's sort of now how social media is now. Every website you use, it's all based off likes and stuff, interactions and stuff. I wonder what the first company was to start using likes.
A bolt of lightning has enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread.
God damn.
In 1992, nearly 30,000 rubber ducks were dropped into the Pacific Ocean off a cargo ship. People still keep finding them from Australia to Alaska.
Wait, was it on purpose?
There's a bridge over a highway in the Netherlands built just for squirrels, but a maximum of 5 squirrels use it per year.
What?
The little hole in the bottom of your padlock
Christ.
lets water drain out in case the lock is out in the open during a rain.
Oh damn. Didn't know that.
The largest snowflake in history was the size of a frisbee. It fell in Montana in 1887.
So they're actually shaped like that?
Roosters have built-in earplugs that keep them from going deaf from their own noise.
Definitely
Croissants
needed,
that many
definitely
see
needed.
as one of the symbols of France were invented in Vienna, Austria, and only came to France in the 1830s.
The fraudulence involved there.
The world's largest pyramid isn't in Egypt, but in Puebla, Mexico.
Wow.
If your brain were a computer, it would perform 38,000 trillion operations per second. Even the most powerful supercomputer in the world has only 0.002% of that capacity.
Makes you think how crazy the brain really
To
is.
become a taxi, or rather cab driver in London, you'd have to memorize 320 routes, 25,000 streets, and 20,000 sites.
No, you wouldn't just use
GPS
it.
is cheating.
Cheating.
The expiration date on a water bottle is for the bottle, not the water. Plastic can leach inside with time, and water never goes bad.
Oh damn.
The most successful pirate of all times was a woman named
Wait, water never goes bad? I didn't know that. I probably should have. Water never goes
Ching
bad.
Shin. She had 80,000 men under her command. The average
Fair
human
enough,
checks
well.
their phone every 6 minutes. That sums up to a total of 150 times a day.
I'm probably more than that. I'm not gonna
The
lie.
African continent is the only one that sits in all 4 hemispheres, and both the equator and prime meridian pass through it. Roadway lines were invented thanks to leaky milk wagons. A guy named Edward Hines saw it dripping in the center of the road in 1911 and thought it was a great idea.
What the fuck?
Incan people used knots instead of notes to keep records. NASCAR drivers sweat so much in extreme heat, they can lose
I
up
bet.
to 10 pounds in one race.
God damn it! What?
Pineapples were named after pine cones by
45
European
kg.
explorers because of their spiky looks. Your body gives off enough heat in half an hour to boil a gallon of water. Apple had its own clothing and lifestyle line in 1986, but it wasn't a success.
Yeah, I bet. Some
All
robot-type
blue-eyed
outfits.
people share one distant ancestor, as they all have the same gene sequences for eye color. An Australian man tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. The bidding was stopped at $3,000 by eBay officials. Mount Everest isn't the tallest in the world. The champion is Mauna Kea. It's a rock of just 13,800 feet above sea level, but the rest of which is hidden under the water.
That's massive.
There is a city called Boring in Oregon that has a sister city called Dull in Scotland.
What?
The question mark and exclamation mark you probably use a lot to finish sentences has a name. It's INTERROBANG. Doritos can be used as good kindling. They are easily flammable and burn for a long time.
That cannot be a good sign. If your Doritos can light up that easily, is that a bad sign? I guess it isn't, because they're just quite thin. I don't know. That sounds kind of mad how they can just light up and you can use them as like a matchstick.
That's incendiary. IKEA stands for this guy's name. I'm not even going to try. The founder's name, farm where he grew up, and his hometown.
The most Swedish possible name I've
When
ever
glaciers
seen.
are melting, they make a loud, fizzy sound called BERGY seltzer. I'm not even going to try. Bert was the only person to have ever played golf outside the Earth. He did that on the moon in 1971 during the Apollo 14 space mission. Continental plates drift at about the same rate as your fingernails grow.
What?
Cats can be allergic to humans, but it's most likely to be the perfume you wear or soap you use, not your natural scent.
Oh shit.
There is a fruit in Central and South America named black sapote that tastes like chocolate pudding.
Tastes like chocolate pudding? What? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's rotten.
Art used to be an Olympic sport. Between 1912 and 1948, people competed in sculpture, music, painting, and architecture.
What the fuck? I never knew that.
Black boxes on planes are actually bright orange. It makes them easier to be located if, they have to. German chocolate cake has nothing to do with Germany. It was named after American baker Samuel German.
Bro, all these fraudulent things like croissants and Belgian chocolate cakes, just other foods, they're false. They're lies, man. They're made from people from different countries. But I've never actually heard of Belgian chocolate cake, so actually maybe I have. Is Belgian chocolate cake just the most chocolatey possible cake? I mean, it looks it, so I guess it is.
The sky on Mars is red, and the sunsets are blue. This has to do with the dust in the Martian air. A chef's famous hat is called toque and has exactly 100 pleats, symbolizing 100 ways to cook an egg. And in France, one egg is enough. 60% of your brain is made of fat. In fact, it's the fattiest organ in the body. Play-Doh was designed as a way to clean wallpaper.
I hate the smell of Play-Doh. I actually despise the smell of Play-Doh. God, it makes me like this. Like when you used to play with it as a kid and it just gets stuck in your hands. The smell, man, I hated it.
Stop signs were yellow for 30 years. By 1954, red dye that
would be harder to see,
fade
right?
became available, and it all changed.
Yeah, it makes sense. Would be harder to see.
In 2014, two research scientists living a 45-minute helicopter ride away found each other using a dating app in Antarctica.
No way, that's nuts.
Tree rings grow wider when the weather is warm and wet. The hottest inhabited place in the world is Daulo, Ethiopia, with the average annual temperature 94 degrees Fahrenheit and summer highs of 116 degrees.
Nah, man. That sounds like
the only
hell.
letter that's not in the periodic table is J. A single strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto, and one ravioli is a raviolo. A French exit is what they call leaving a party without telling anyone in English. In French, they call it to leave English style.
Really? Why is that?
You can
Why
burn
do they
around
swap
100
over?
calories per hour just standing and doing nothing. GPS is free to use, but it costs $2 million per day to make it work. The United Kingdom has...
How do they make money then? Is there like things within like that GPSs or something that, like you buy like additional things or something? Where's the profit involved in that? Or is it for like the actual? Well, for GPSs, I guess you can buy like the screens, or what they call the GPS screens, the small things that you have in your car. But usually, I guess people just use
tornadoes per area than any other country. The United Kingdom has more tornadoes per area than any other country in the world.
What? What?
Times Square was called Longacre Square until the New York Times headquarters moved here in 1904. The word kimono translates as a thing to wear. Ki means wear, and mono means thing. Santa Claus received a pilot's license and airway maps from the U.S. government in 1927. They also promised runway lights will be on for him.
What?
The first band that performed live on all 7 continents was Metallica. On December 8, 2013, they played a show called Freeze 'Em All in Antarctica.
Why?
There are more cell phones than humans on the planet. The Eiffel Tower was supposed to be erected in Barcelona, but the citizens disliked the project so much they moved it to Paris.
Big L there.
There are no keyholes in the presidential limousine, and only the Secret Service knows how to open it. The only window that opens is on the driver's side to pay tolls or talk to Secret Service agents escorting the car. The longest game of cricket lasted over 12 days between England and South Africa.
Yeah, that's a professional game as well. Yeah, cricket games can last long, like a long ass time. Bro, it's such a boring sport. Watching a game for 12 days where nothing's happening, like, what's the point,
Africa, and ended without a winner because the English team had to catch their boat home. There was a Qantas Airways interstate flight powered on cooking oil. It was the first commercial flight in Australia to run on sustainable biofuel.
I don't know if I trust that.
The guy who started the Guinness Book of World Records couldn't find information on the fastest game bird ever, and got so angry he invented his own way of keeping all records in one source.
Yeah.
The bigger the brain an animal has, the longer it will yawn. Mice have the shortest yawns, and dogs and camels have the longest ones, only surpassed by humans.
Dog yawns are
Pizza
long, to be fair.
Margherita has tomato, mozzarella, and basil on top to represent the Italian national flag. It was created around 1890 for Queen Margherita of Italy and became her favorite.
Oh, damn.
A human heart beats around 115,000 times a day, 42 million times in a year, and more than 3 billion times in an average lifetime.
Shit.
Abraham Lincoln loved cats so much, he once let a kitty eat from the table at a formal White House dinner. Spam mail was named after canned meat that was said to be tasting horrible and being ubiquitous and inescapable in a Monty Python skit.
I've never had spam in my life, but bro, whenever I've seen it, I'm like, what the fuck? Who would eat this sort of thing, man? Maybe it's good, but I don't like corned beef, and I guess it's kind of similar to that, right? Oh, mate. Chopped pork and ham. Oh, mate. I can't imagine what they put in it. Oh,
ubiquitous
man.
and inescapable in a Monty Python skit. The least frequently used letters in written English are J, Q, X, and Z. There is just one chance in 1,461 for a kid to be born on February 29th, as it only happens once in 1,461 days.
Oh, damn. What happens then? Do you just have a... Wait, what actually happens then? You just have a birthday on a different day, don't you? Oh, mate, that's so weird.
The most remote ATM in the world is in the Antarctic.
That's what makes you really realise that birthdays, like, time, I don't know, days aren't actually real, obviously, like, they're created and stuff, but, like, when you think about it like that, when your birthdays will just be on a different day, it's all just made up, innit? It's all, like, obviously, it's a good thing that we have it, because it helps everyday sort of life just function and flow easier, having like, a set routine, but it is all just made up, isn't it? Like, dates.
It serves around 1,000 residents of a scientific facility.
Which is what makes me think, how can star signs be real when, like, years aren't actually a real thing, or like months aren't actually a real thing? They're a man-made thing. Like, they're real, but they're not like real, if that makes sense. God, yeah, but I'm not even gonna get into star signs, but come on now. How could someone be born in January be like, have like, be more chatty or like be more sociable? Like, where's the there been science behind that when at the end of the day, dates or days or months aren't actually a real thing.
Facility. Really?
They are,
You
but
need
they
cash
aren't.
down
You know?
there? Around 1,000 residents of a scientific facility. Really? You need cash down there? Papua New Guinea has more
What's going on
languages
here?
than any other country. Over 820 indigenous languages. King of the Jungle was the original name for the Lion King. Then the creators realized lions don't live in the jungle.
Never
and
watched
renamed
Lion
it.
King. I never watched
There's a
it.
special word meaning both nieces and nephews. It's nibblings.
Oh damn.
One
I didn't know
surprising
that.
way to cure a tickly throat is to scratch your ear. If your throat tickles, scratching your ear can help
I get a
quiet it.
ticklish throat
This way, you'll
all the
stimulate the
time.
nerves that cause muscle spasms in your throat.
If that's actually true,
Fruit stickers are edible
gonna come in
because
useful.
a special safe glue is used for them. But it doesn't mean
what? Oh, they're edible, but it doesn't mean you should do it.
you don't have to wash the fruit before eating. The smallest thing ever photographed is the shadow of an atom. It was cast onto a detector, and only then a digital camera could capture it. 16 million thunderstorms happen worldwide every year.
Half of
And
them are in Florida,
1,800
right?
of them are going on right now.
Shit, bro, I love thunderstorms so much.
One of the weirdest holidays ever is celebrated on March 3rd as What If Cats and Dogs Had Opposable Thumbs Day. What do you think they would do first if they really got opposable thumbs? Share your ideas in the comment section below. The largest tree on Earth is a giant sequoia
California,
named
right?
General Sherman. It's over 2,000 years old and is as tall as the Statue of Liberty or Big Ben, and 18 times as heavy as a blue whale.
Jeez.
Elvis Presley used to have blonde hair in his childhood and teen years. Then he decided black hair was cooler and sometimes even touched it up with shoe polish. The first photograph ever was made in 1826 and took 8 hours to expose.
What? Oh my days! I didn't. See, that's nuts. I thought like photographs weren't. Well, obviously it's not a very good photograph, but for this time, it must have been insane. See, I thought they were like becoming a thing in like the 1900s. Maybe I'm thinking of like camera recorders. When did? When were what are they called? Video recorders, I guess? Or video cameras? 1951. So to like watch TV and stuff. Wait, what about this one? Received a patent for his movie camera, the kinetograph. In 1892, Edison and his team had developed the camera and its viewer in the early 1890s and staged several demonstrations. He is now credited with inventing the first movie camera. See, the first person to create a camera and then the movie camera. Imagine how smart they were, and it's like to the time that they were in as well. It's kind of hard to really realize because nowadays we just have it, but to be able to invent something that's not even like it's not a thing. Like cameras weren't a thing then. Like it's like so the fact that they could just create this thing that they didn't know what they were creating, if that makes sense. Or maybe they were. I guess they were planning to do it, but it's so weird to me how like obviously these at once upon a time weren't a thing, and then suddenly someone or people were going like learning to create it and stuff. Imagine how hard that would have been, man. It's just so weird to me how not weird, but it's just so like wild to me how this sort of stuff happens, bro. I love history when you learn about that sort of stuff and how things were created.
Imagine sitting motionless for all that time. To show affection in ancient Greece, guys used to throw apples at ladies. Catching it meant accepting that love. Babies arising from those unions were usually named Fuji or Macintosh. Nah, just kidding.
What the fuck?
The original idea of tea bags was removing tea out of them before drinking, but people decided it was way more comfortable to brew it in the bag. The temperature of a beehive is about the same as healthy human body temperature. When it becomes hotter, bees relocate through the hive and flap their wings to cool it down. Extreme ironing is a real extreme sport that was
God
invented
damn
in
it,
England.
man.
The
In
idea is to
England?
take an ironing board to a remote location and iron tons of clothing.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
so
man?
where do you plug the iron in? The first roller coaster was built in the
Probably
early
portable.
19th century as
Oh
a
my
construction
days.
to carry
Imagine being for Cole. Imagine being the first person to go on the first ever like roller coaster made for humans, man. Imagine how sketchy that would have been.
coal down a hill. Then people found out how much fun it was and were willing to pay to go on a ride.
Really?
The smallest inhabited island is located in New York State and is called Just Enough Room. There is literally just enough
Imagine
room
the
for a
peace and quiet
tree
you
and a
have here,
house.
man.
And finally this.
Peace and
If
quiet.
baby owls are called owlets, then are baby toils called toilets?
What?
Well, no.
What? What the hell is a toil? Yeah, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. I enjoy fact videos all the time. They're always just quite fun to see. But if you want more of these, let me know in the comments. I'm always down to do more of these. They're just fun to do. And I mean, yeah, let me know some more facts, I guess. And what of these facts maybe that you think are wrong or whatever. I mean, I guess they aren't wrong, but you can never know with these sorts of channels. They probably spit out some mumbo jumbo here and there. But yeah, that's the video. Until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.